John, I wanted to, this investigation is being handled largely by Secret Service, also other entities, not necessarily under your purview, of course. But as you stand there at the White House, Lafayette Square, basically right across, what is your understanding right now about the motivations of this person?
It's difficult to know for sure, Kate. And again, like you said, it's under investigation. So I don't want to get ahead of where they are in terms of what the motive was here and the actual intent. I mean, clearly this individual intended some kind of harm by ramming that truck through those pylons. I mean, that's a pretty violent act all by itself. But again, I don't want to get ahead of where the investigation is.
Totally understandable. Do you think that the president or the first lady were in any danger last night?
I have to take the word of the Secret Service here, who made it clear that they weren't. Obviously, they take their responsibilities incredibly seriously, and it's important to note, while Lafayette Square is just over my shoulder here, where this occurred was quite some distance actually from White House property. So again, I think we certainly want to thank local law enforcement, the Park Service, the Secret Service for the very prompt action that they took last night. But they themselves have said that at no time was the president or first lady in any danger.
Yeah, and they moved very quickly from all accounts that we can see in order to secure the scene. So it's good to hear that. I want to ask you also, John, about Evan Gershkovich. He has appeared in court today as the court was going to appeal his pretrial detention. And actually, as we've just came on air, the control room just told me that Russian state media is now reporting that the Russian court has extended his detention for another 3 months. We know that the FSB had been asking for that. Evan Gershkovich trying to ask to be under house arrest in his pretrial detention. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I'm just hearing this news for the first time with you, Kate. So I don't know if I have an official reaction by the White House on this, except to say that he shouldn't be detained at all. Journalism is not a crime. We've said this before. He needs to be released immediately. That is still President Biden's view, still the administration's view, and we're still going to work very hard to see if we can get him home with his family where he belongs. He should not be detained. Certainly not extended. But again, I'm just coming into this news hearing it from you.
Absolutely. And I was, even before this, was going to ask you about his situation because he again was denied a consular visit. This is the second time that has happened. What is your understanding of why even this very basic and, I mean, I'll say required, but they clearly are breaking all sorts of, rules and regulations and international law, but it's an obligation for them to allow these consular visits. Why do you think they are not allowing this very basic and critical step?
I mean, it's hard to know exactly what the Russians are thinking here in terms of denying consular access. We do want that access to him. We want to be able to talk to him directly. We want to check in on him, see how he's doing. We want to be able to communicate with him. And we have made that case very stridently through Russian officials, through our embassy, and very directly. It's difficult to know exactly why they're denying it. It could be just, spitefulness over, antipathy towards the United States, antipathy towards the free press, or there could be some sort of legal excuse that they're trying to pin this on, but there is no grounds for denying consular access. This is typical. It's a normal request that we make of wrongfully detained Americans anywhere around the world, and we really want to get that consular access going.
John, I want to ask you about, speaking of Russia, the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin today is saying that their forces have pushed back what they are calling Ukrainian forces attacking inside Russia in the Belgorod region. But the attack has been claimed by groups of anti-Putin Russian nationals that have been fighting in Ukraine against Russia. What is your understanding of what is really happening here and how significant it is?
Well, we don't have a whole lot of information on this attack right now, Kate. It does appear that it was Russian sympathizing groups, if you will, that sympathize with the war in Ukraine, but they're of Russian origin, that were making these alleged attacks here in and around Belgrade. We don't really know a whole lot of information about these groups, what their motivation was, and how they carried this out. But look, when it comes to our support to Ukraine, we obviously are not encouraging or enabling any support to attack on Russian territory. Our focus is on making sure that Ukraine can defend itself and its own territory.
This weekend, the president made the announcement that the United States is now providing F-16s to Ukraine in coordination with other allies and nations. An outstanding question does remain is, will the United States provide its own F-16s to them? I know there's a process that this is going for that decision to be made, but why wouldn't you? If you now support this move, is there any good reason not to?
I would tell you we're still working our way through that, Kate. I mean, the president did announce that we're going to start to provide training for Ukrainian pilots. That will likely occur in Europe, not far from Ukraine, just like we've done so many other training events for Ukrainian soldiers and Ukrainian servicemen and women, most likely in Europe. But as for how many jets, what type, coming from what country, all that needs to be worked out. One of the things that the president, when he laid out this new training commitment, was to also make it clear that we're going to be working with a coalition of other nations that have these advanced fighter aircraft, including F-16s, to work out all the details of that. So I can't say yes or no right now because we're still beginning this process. We'll see how it fleshes out. But the main thing that is important to take away is that they will get advanced fighter aircraft and they will get trained on how to fly them.
John Kirby of the National Security Council spokesman from the White House for us today. John, thank you.